First, I want to give you an overview again of our participation and partnership that we have with ICE and the Fresno County Jail. We started June 22nd with allowing ICE agents to be in the Fresno County Jail to screen those that are being processed for release, to see if those released inmates fit into their priority enforcement program, which took the place of secure communities. What happens is, upon release, they will screen them, run their criminal history, and if they fit into the priority 1 or 2, which means if they have gang membership, if they're associated with a terrorist organization, if they have multiple convictions, if they've been deported multiple times. Some of the cases that we have here locally is they've been convicted of assault with a deadly weapon, a lot of domestic violence. So those are the kinds of priorities and people that they are choosing to take custody of. Now, when they take custody, they will either deport that person, or if they need to see a federal judge, they will take them before the judge. But the ICE personnel would answer those questions more specifically for you, and I encourage you to call them because they will answer your questions. Since we started the program, over 23 people have been taken into custody by ICE. Now, to put that into perspective, the jail being a local jail, we have constantly people being booked and people being released for a number of reasons. About 100 people a day are booked, about 100 people a day are released. They screen everybody. So out of that 100 people a day since June 22nd, we have about 23 people. This is a good way to make sure that our community members are safe from people like the suspect in San Francisco. It truly is a safety net. We aren't screening people in the community like some rumors have started for deportation. Only people that have committed crimes and are arrested by local law enforcement agencies in Fresno County. I think it's a great thing to do, and in fact, I hear from ICE that many sheriffs up and down the state are looking to replicate this pilot project to see if they can do the same thing in the furtherance of keeping their community safer. So far, it's working well. We are truly one of just a handful. The only other agency I know of that has this kind of program is in Harris County, Texas. So it's a good thing that we're doing. I know there have been some protests and disagreements. It is not realistic to expect me or any other sheriff not to communicate with Immigration Customs Enforcement. We are going to continue to communicate with them and all our federal law enforcement partners. It's important, and we need to deliver the message that we're going to communicate so that our communities know that we're working together to keep you safe. The worst thing that can happen is to go back to the way it was pre-9/11, when there was minimal communication between local law enforcement and our federal partners. It's not just local, it's nationwide. So does anybody have any questions?
The protesters outside say that they're there because you had scheduled a meeting with them to talk about this program. Can you talk about that?
I had not scheduled a meeting with them. I had scheduled a meeting with another group to talk about our transition from jail to community. However, they wanted to actually infiltrate that meeting, and I said, no, these are two separate issues. We have the immigration issue going on, and then the presentation I was scheduled to give prior to the protest being started. So I was not going to mix those meetings. I wasn't going to allow the protesters to disrupt a very positive meeting that I had, by the way.
Okay. And one of their main concerns is that they don't believe that ICE agents are only going after level 1 and level 2 offenders. They think that if someone is pulled over for not having a driver's license or for a DUI, that they would be booked and they would be scanned and they would be deported.
Given the name, if they have the name of somebody, we'll check it out and see exactly what their offenses are. But you can't throw out that net and be general give us a name. We'll check it out. And I will encourage you, all the media outlets, to contact ICE. They will tell you what about their program and give you information, any information you want to know.
Do you feel that, and you've talked about this before, that they have the right to protest, but do you feel that sometimes their information is misleading for the community, and what does that do?
A lot of the information that they are giving out is in fact misleading. I believe in facts, I believe in data, and I can freely give that information and data out. By not giving the correct information, or by fear-mongering, like I'm afraid is going on, that does more harm in our community than sitting and listening to rational information that comes out, and factual information. And that's too bad, but that's what they do. If you take a look at what they do, it's up and down the state where they protest at local jails. And I respect our Constitution, I support our Constitution. They have the right to peaceably assemble, and as long as they're not breaking any laws, they have the right to peaceably protest.
So practically, ICE is only there for more communication between everyone, and only if they have certain felonies from the past are they going to be taken into custody. If not, let's just say it's somebody that doesn't have a driver's license, would they be taken into custody if they don't have anything prior? Because that's the problem that they think is really going on.
I don't think there's anybody in custody at the Fresno County Jail who is there only because they don't have a driver's license. That, again, I will say, give me the name of somebody that they think is there, because I don't think we're going to find those people in the Fresno County Jail. We are an all-felony jail. I think less than 1% of our people may even be in custody on a misdemeanor. So that's, unfortunately, it's an urban myth that they're spreading, and it just kind of keeps going. We don't have anybody in custody only for not having a driver's license.
I think the other thing that's important for you to clarify is the fact that this program was implemented before the San Francisco incident, because they feel that you're going based off of that San Francisco incident and saying this is why we need to have 2 ICE agents in the jail. But can you just, I mean, you talked about it at the beginning, but it was implemented even before this happened. It was just coincidental.
Well, I really want to commend our local ICE agents and the cooperation they've been giving, because they have their job to do, and I have my job to do in coordinating the Fresno County Jail. We met and we came up with a very sensible solution several days before the San Francisco incident occurred, and it's working. It is. They were willing to come into the jail. I'm willing to give them the space to be there. And the message that it sends the public is we're all working together to keep you safe. So that did start before San Francisco, and again, other law enforcement agencies, county sheriffs are looking at trying to make this happen in their community. It's common sense. It's common sense. We need to make sure that we try and reduce the number of potential victims out in our community, and we're doing that.
Sheriff, some of the protesters were comparing you, Mr. Joe Pio. How do you feel about that?
Well, he's a lot older than I am. I'm not sure why. We're not doing some of the things that Sheriff Arpaio is going. In fact, didn't he get indicted for some of the immigration issues? We're not breaking the law. In fact, we're making sure that we hold people accountable and that they don't break the law. We do not go out and do immigration sweeps. We're not involved in that. Again, the hard-working people that are out there hitting their licks every day, doing their job, doing hard work, we are not targeting. Only people that get arrested with local law enforcement agencies and meet the priority enforcement program with ICE are the people that we're looking at. So I think that's the important message.
Are you willing to talk to the protesters who are outside today in the future?
Sure, I've talked to many of them in the past. So on this particular issue, we're just not going to agree. I just feel that their position is I should not be talking to ICE at all. And I don't agree with that. I will continue to talk to ICE. I think the community at large expects me to cooperate with my law enforcement partners.
The law doesn't stop you to communicate with the ICE.
Absolutely not.
And the 23 people who were deported or arrested by the ICE, is there any information about their background? What kind of crimes they have been committed?
I would encourage you to call ICE and get that information from them. They have somebody. Tony can provide the contact information for you, and they can tell you. I'm not sure if they'll give you names, but they will give you what kind of offenses that they're being deported for.
So there are currently no sweeps, nothing specifically for targeting immigration.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I would encourage you, when they make the allegation, somebody gets arrested for not having a driver's license, ask them, give me a name. Who are you talking about? And I bet they can't do it.
They can't. I can't.
How will you go about from now on having like all these protesters, and what are the next steps?
Well, our next step is to collect the data, to make sure that we continue to cooperate with ICE. They're able to do the job that's so important that they do. The protesters will probably continue to protest, and again, I have to respect their right to do that. It's our First Amendment right is to peaceably assemble, and that's what they're doing. So as long as they continue to be peaceful, they will continue to protest, and that's okay.